So this assignment for drawing two, I want you guys to focus on creating emphasis through contrast and movement. And in this exercise I have two snapshot photographs. I don't care which one you choose or if you use both of them, or even if like you have a photograph you have on your phone or that you want to practice with, that's totally fine. But the overall assignment, I need to see 4 thumbnails. And a thumbnail, they vary from size from artist to artist. Mine are slightly smaller than like a credit card size. That's the size I'm really comfortable with using a thumbnail. I've seen artists do much smaller ones and some bigger ones. And so, if you want to use the back side of your paper, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, so first thing you want to do when you're starting a thumbnail of whatever image you're using a reference from, whether if it's from real life or a photograph, you want to create a focal point. So let's just start with this image right over here. I need to decide what my focal point is. What is my emphasis area? It could be the clouds. It could be the tree. Who is the main star of who I'm talking about? So let's say I'm doing the tree. I want to figure out where that tree is, on my picture plane. So I'm probably going to do like a rule of thirds, just for fun here. So anyway, here's my tree that I have. It's going to be the star of my show. And, I have like some land here. If I look closely in the back of my picture, I've got some mountains and stuff. And there's another tree. And I can choose if I want to include this tree or not include this tree. So let's see, on another page of your book, I do have a bunch of little compositional guides you guys can look at, which are, good places to put in a focal point. Okay. With this exercise, I want the highest contrast at my emphasis. So let's say, here's my tree. I'm going to make it like a fairly dark tree. What can I do and use in my photograph to create that high contrast? So here are a bunch of clouds. I don't have to follow what these clouds are doing. I can make this up as I go. So maybe, the widest part of my cloud is just going to be kind of framing parts of this tree at the highest contrast. I can move these clouds however I want. And another thing that I want to think about is movement that goes to that focal point. So I'm kind of creating this almost like triangle arrow shape with my clouds to kind of help direct the eye to my focal point. And what can I use in this foreground to create movement to my focal point? So maybe I do want to include this other tree. I don't know. Maybe it won't be as dark as the tree that I have as my emphasis. But I've got lots of grasses. Maybe I can, let's see what to do here. I got a mountain range I could probably use, or a bunch of smaller trees off in the distance. Let's see. I feel like I need to trap this energy over here, so maybe I'm kind of making up this little part, making these trees a little bigger than they actually are. And maybe I'm pretending there's more of like a shadow. It could be from a cloud, from the grasses over here, to kind of help lead my eye to that focal point. So practice doing that. And, the great thing about a little thumbnail is if it's a terrible thumbnail and you're just like, I don't know if I like this, you can just put a big, huge X through it and call it good. You didn't waste your time doing a big drawing on it. This is your problem-solving space is what it is. So 4 thumbnails. Again, I don't care what the photographs are, but practice creating emphasis, using high contrast and making movement towards that emphasis. And please be careful of your values. One of the biggest things that I tell students when they're doing this is they're not going dark enough on their thumbnails, that this is a study of value. Even though we're going to be doing this in color later, in watercolor, this is a value study. Those values are just as important as the color.